So let's get straight into it. Let's focus right away at the beginning of this video with success in an online world. Now, we must choose to look at what's happening all around us because the power of the internet is truly taking over. We have the ability these days now to be able to leverage, to be able to grow a business online. And if we are not prepared to grow with it, if we are not prepared to adapt, we're going to get left behind. You know, you hear from most of the older generation saying, oh, I don't need to know about that. I don't need to learn around that. And we want them to be having these mobile phones so we've got access to them. Then when they're in trouble, they can contact us at the like literally at the touch of a button. So we want that kind of level of connection. And it's also no matter how we look at it, success is just the result. So whatever the result is that we want to happen, we want that success. So when we start looking at it from a business side of things, success is in an online world, the first thing we've got to look at is personal attention. So what I find with a lot of people is that they're going through and they're realizing that they don't want to work physically as hard as they may be doing right now. They maybe don't want to work as hard mentally as they currently are right now. Especially when we look on the likes of Facebook and Instagram and YouTube, and there's so many people who are earning an income online. They're talking about their success. They're talking about how easy it is to earn an income online. And what's important to understand is that it's only easy when we know the answers. The $1 million question on who wants to be a millionaire is easy if you know the answer. But the hardest question could be the first question you ask for like $10 or whatever it's worth. So we've got to be able to open our mind and expand to where we currently are, our personal attention. Where are we at right now? Where are you at right now? You're watching this, this video has attracted you to be learning more because there's something that's missing in your own life. So I encourage you to really have a good think about right now, what is going on in your life that you're not happy with, that you feel is missing, that you maybe desire, your goals, your dreams, what it is that you actually want to achieve. Because that level of personal attention right from the start is what is going to help you move forward in the direction that you want to go. And this right away, the personal attention has to be our foundation. It has to be where we're at. For people who are in my demographic, for people who are older demographic, the younger ones who are coming through now have been more connected to this technology and are open to the change. We know that when we give an iPad to a child, it's usually figuring it out straight away. But for some of us who are older, it's a challenge. You know, I'm looking at the instructions, but we can just, some children today just picking things up immediately. And this is very important for us to be able to adapt, for us to find that attention as to where we're at right now. Because one of the foundational desires is for a better life, is to make a bit better impact, is to be surrounded and giving it to a community. So we've got to look at, if we want to achieve success in an online world, we've got to look at where we're at right now. And the biggest thing that you're going to face, for most people, the biggest thing you're going to face is the need for change. That's the biggest thing that you're going to face right now. Because if you've been so used to doing the same things over and over again, then there has to be something that changes to get a different result. And what I find is that a lot of people say that they want change, they want a better life, but they're not open to change. So they want it, but they're not prepared to be open. And this is really because of a lot of the conditioning that we've allowed and the employee mindset that we have and the actual state that we're in, which is a state of dependence. A state of dependence where we're dependent on other people. You know, when we have a job, we are dependent on other people. The person who's created the company that you work for is independent. He or she is dependent on people rocking up to help, but they were independent to go and create the jobs, to go and create the business, the company, the movement that needed to take place. They had to be open to the fact that they could tap into their greatness to make this happen. I covered this on another video that I recorded. So the employee mindset naturally has to be shifted. So we have to be open to new information coming in. We find this is a massive challenge for people who have an employee mindset and who are very, very structured and rigid with it. They're not prepared to adapt. So when they start thinking about the ability for themselves to earn an income online, to maybe earn from like a network marketing model, which people will say is a pyramid scheme, it is not a pyramid scheme. Every single business is built as a pyramid. Network marketing isn't the only business that works as a pyramid. And this is the problem. People say these things, say it's a pyramid scheme. How do you know? Well, the person at the top's earning all the money, like your boss. What do you mean? No, I earn money. Yeah, so do other people in a network marketing model. In any form of pyramid, everybody gets paid somehow. But what is a challenge for a lot of people who are stuck at this employee mindset is they forget that for most of it, they've had to go through and learn these new skills. They may have had to go to college, university, they may have had to do an apprenticeship, they may have had to go on a trial basis to earn a certain amount, and then it grows. And the more value that they become, the more that they can earn. And that's exactly the same whether it's in network marketing or within a company structure. But because it's so easy to become a lemming and work in a foundation of a corporate structure from a point of being the employee right at the bottom, earning the minimum amount, and then you've got your foreman or your supervisor, then you've got your managers, and then you've got your directors and so on. So there's all these tiers, and it goes from all these employees straight the way like this, doesn't it? Of course it does. So we've got to shift our employee mindset. So we've got to be open to that level of change. And to do that then, to create that level of change, we have to learn new skills. We have to be open to learning new skills. Because if we don't learn new skills, how are we going to create the change that's needed? How are we going to be able to become successful in the online world? We have to be able to learn those skills, and we can only learn those skills with an open mind, because a closed mind will never let anything in. And you know, none of us knew how to send an email. None of us were born with these skill sets of how to send an email, how to make a phone call, how to post an advert, how to do a post, how to comment. None of us knew how to actually create a website, post products or services on there to sell. We weren't born with those skills. We acquired them over a period of time through teachings, through taking action, through finding what worked and what didn't work for us. So we've had to learn new skills. And these skills are only mastered through basically hours and hours and hours of working on your craft, working in the online space. Yet some people think that they can step in and that they should be able to step in and receive an abundance of money, an abundance of success, accolades. It doesn't work like that. Because those people who do happen to step in, one of the things that they've done along their journey is they've adapted along their journey. They've adapted with industries. They've adapted along to make sure that they've become better. Now, if this is you, if you've ever made any form of adaptation along your journey, then comment below, adaptation. Let me know if you've ever, and I'm telling you right now, you have. You might not be able to see it because you've got tunnel vision, but you have. To be at this point right now, you've had to adapt along your journey. So we have to be aware of the adaptation that's taking place in industries, especially when we look at the model today where people, as I mentioned earlier, are earning an income from social media, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Snapchat, all these different platforms. There's so many today, LinkedIn and so on. All these different platforms that they're earning an income from. They're realizing the power of leverage. They're realizing the power of shifting where they currently were, where they're currently at, and leveraging what's taking place today in the industries. You know, at one point we used to have to get materials to build, bricks and mortar to build homes. They've now got 3D printers doing it. There's all these different things that are evolving. People saying that, well, I'm safe in my job, my industry is never going to change. Every industry is changing. Every industry is changing. We can't just hope that things aren't going to change anymore. We must create change. We must create change to achieve success. Not just in an online world, in life in general. We have to take that level of ownership. And this is why leverage is so important right now. Because when we're able to leverage from education, from people who are already out there, who are already creating the momentum, who are going out there and creating this level of education to help you move forward on your journey, we have to choose to leverage that. Because it's like Jim Rohn said, you can try and think of all these magical words and choruses we remember in songs, or you can go and just sing the songs that are already created, that resonate with you. Because you could spend hours, weeks, months, years trying to think of that kind of content, but it's already there. Why not just go and sing it? Why not just go and enjoy it, what's been created by somebody else? Leverage. And it's in every area of our lives. It's in every single part of our journey, especially when we're looking at how we want to earn an income to help us have all the things and live the life that we want. That's really important to be aware of. So the one of the biggest things when we're focusing on leverage is look around at those people who are successful in the online world, who are successful in the journey that you want to take, that you wish to take to get those goals and desires and dreams that you have. Find those people and leverage on the success of them. What did they do? How did they do it? How do they show up? What are they doing on a daily basis? How do they treat themselves? You know, when we talk about that leverage and the success of others, success leaves clues. So go and read the books by those who motivate you and inspire you. Go and listen to the audios, go to their seminars, listen to the videos, because that's what's going to help you move forward. You don't have to live the exact same life as them. And remember, the industries are constantly evolving. So that means that if you continue to do the same things that they may have done 5 years ago, it might not be working right now. So you've got to be aware of learning those skills and giving yourself, in all fairness, one of the biggest challenges I find for a lot of people who are making this shift is time. You've got to be able to give yourself time. The people who I'm connected with, who I listen to, they've been in the industry or a company for 10 plus years. And they say that things have changed over that period, but the foundation is still the same. Now, these people are multi-million-dollar earners. So success leaves clues. I'm going to be listening to them, but I'm also going to be listening to them with a completely open mind, because I'm aware around what's happening in society today and the industries that are shifting today. And then I'm becoming aware of, if I can implement that, but I can strategically adjust it to fit in with what's happening today, that's going to help me get the success that I desire and I deserve. Is this making sense? If this is making sense, give me a heaven yes below. Because it's really, really important that we are giving ourselves time. Something that many of us choose to not follow. Something that many of us choose to forget about all the past, all those years. When we look back and we're like, whoa, where did all that time go? And everything that's happened along that journey and has got you to this point right now, that time is what was needed to help you become who you are today. And it's also to help you have the knowledge you've got, all the financial success that you've got. And you may not be where you want to be financially. You may not have the level or rank or company role that you want to have right now. But you're still where you are because of everything that you've experienced along the journey. And for you to start growing and achieving more, then things have to change. Things have to change 100%. And time, when we look at time, it's all about being kind to self. It's all about you choosing to be kind to yourself. That's what it is. Time is all around kindness. Enjoying the moment, being present, being appreciative and grateful for who you are, the difference that you've made, the people who have been in your life to impact your life. to help you be who you are right now. That kindness to self is what's going to help you along your journey. Because we must choose, when we change into anything, we must choose to actually go, I'm an apprentice now. I'm going to start a new learning curve. But it's a learning curve that's going to help me move towards my goals and desires and dreams. Because if I continue to do what I'm doing right now, am I actually going to get there? Am I going to continue to just remain where I'm at now and only really just getting by, maybe living paycheck to paycheck, which basically means there's nothing left at the end of the month? You're only just paying the bills. You're only just getting enough food on the table. There's not enough. You can't do the things that you want to do. So appreciating that we have to go through an apprenticeship. We have to go and learn these new skills, and it takes time. And we have to start at the bottom. It's irrelevant of our age, all the years that we've grafted for, all the things that we've done in the past. We have to start at the beginning. But that doesn't mean that we can't bring in those things that we've learned along the journey, our experience, our education, our knowledge, our passion, our wisdom, and incorporate it into this. 100% we can. And some would argue that we're actually further ahead when we're able to bring that life experience into play. And we're not just starting right at the beginning, but we also have to be open to taking out what we've learned and putting it to one side. Because if we don't, it might control us and not allow us to actually expand. So it's very important that we are choosing this. We are choosing to give ourselves that kindness. We are choosing to appreciate we are going through an apprenticeship. And one of the big things I love to talk about is commitment. We must commit to the time. I'm not saying give yourself a point where you sit down and you say, this is only going to happen for 6 months and then that's it, I'm going to stop. Commit to yourself. Your goals, your dreams, what you leave behind, the impact you make in the world depends on it. It depends on it. You know, people in my own life, family members and friends, don't understand some of the things that I do. They you know, I had a comment from my dad, are you a multi-millionaire yet? And I went, no, I'm not, Dad. Why? And he was like, oh, you said you're going to be. I'm going to be. But it's not about the money. It's about the impact I make in the world. And it will happen when it's ready to happen. But I haven't got a time finish line as to when it's going to happen, as in, if it doesn't happen at this date, and multi-millions of dollars is for some people can't even process. But it's not about the money. It's focusing on the impact in the world. So you might have to come back and go, I just want to have an extra $50 on the table at the end of every month. That's perfectly fine. And you might not achieve it for 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. But in 5 years from now, if you achieve that $50 a month extra, which sounds like hardly anything, but if that makes a big difference in your living right now, and you continue to do what you're doing and you start to learn new things and you start to progress, $50 with everything that you're learning and who you're becoming, and most people find that they actually become better in themselves. They're better versions of themselves. And when we just detach from the money side of it, because we're so conditioned in society to think that that's one of the most important things, and it's not. Well, I know it's up there with oxygen, especially when you haven't got it. But it is important when it's then that time. But in the same focus, in the same realm, in the same attitude towards it all, we look at it and we say, what's more important is me being a better version of myself. And in 5 years from now, if you were to go and achieve whatever financial goals that you're achieving to earn a bit extra a month or a lot extra a month, is that going to be worth your commitment along that journey? My answer to that is 100% yes. Heaven, yes. There's no doubt about it. Give me a heaven, yes. If 5 years from now, just imagine, if 5 years ago you had started, and think back to 5 years ago, where were you? I can tell you where I was right now. I was working in the mining industry. And when I was working in the mining industry, I said to myself, I'm going to be working from home at some point. I'm going to be earning an income whilst working at home, whilst helping other people. This is 5 years right now, and this is exactly what I do. I work from home, I earn an income, and I help other people. I said that. Now, that actually feels, that 5 years ago, feels like it was a few weeks ago. So, that level of commitment, of never putting a time frame in place and just saying, I'm going to do whatever it takes every day, is the reason why I'm here and why you can be where you are. And that's what's going to help you continue to keep motivated. But more importantly, what ends up happening is when you get to this space where you're at right now, for me, where I'm at right now, I don't turn around and say, that's it. I work from home. I don't want anything else. If there's a desire for more, there's always going to be a desire for more. And not from a point of power, because that means if it's from a point of power, you're going to be disempowering other people to get to where you want to get to. And why would you choose to do that? I don't believe you're listening to this right now and you wouldn't be resonating with me at all if you come from that mindset. You're only going to resonate with people who are either on the same vibration as you or are slightly higher, but you're already aligned with them. You're already aligned with them. You can pick up on their values, your attachment to them because of the way that they show up. And this might be with you and I right now. But that level of commitment of continuing to grow, continuing to impact the lives of other people, continuing to experience a better life, continuing for it to all to grow, to pass on to other people when it's time for you to pass. That's the true gift. That is true success in the form of who you've become. We have to become more than we currently are. You know, so I believe that success is only measured on the person that we came here to be. It's not about anybody else around you. It's not about what society says success is. It's about who you are, who you came to be, the impact that you want to make in the world. And that's when we start to turn and look at ourselves. And there has to be that you have to find yourself. Success is in an online world. What is online all about? It's about getting out there. It's about sharing a message. It's about putting products and services in front of people. It's about helping people understand why they should be working with you, why they need to invest in you. You know, when people say to me, well, why should I buy that from you? It's because you're buying it through me and you're getting the additional value that I offer you. You can go and buy the same product from somebody else, but it comes down to the value that you're going to receive. If you believe you'll get more value from that other person, then go there. I want you to have the best experience. And I know people who have gone there and then have come back and gone, I made a big mistake. I made a big mistake. And why is that? Why is that? Because they didn't take the time to really think about where they want to be, what they want to be doing, who they want to be aligned with to help them get to where they want to get to. And we have to look at ourselves. You have to find yourself. And what I mean by finding yourself is find that inner message. Find that authenticity. Connect with that. That is one of the most powerful tools you have in your toolbox. Your own authenticity, not somebody else's. I mentioned earlier around leveraging of success in this space, of success of others. But you must find yourself. You must find who you are, what your message is, sharing your value, being authentic, being honest, being open. You don't need to share your whole life story, but share what's driving you right now, why you're passionate. You know, the why is so important. I cover it so many times in the trainings that I do. Your why is everything. It's not just what's going to drive you. It's also what's going to help people connect to you. It's what's going to help people actually align with who you are. And that's what's going to create success in an online world. When we think about the power we have of connection, it's believed around about 2 degrees of separation today because of social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, all these different social media platforms that we leverage on a daily basis. We as human beings in this time, and it's going to keep evolving, but in this time, we must choose to leverage and share who we are, share our message. That's what's so powerful, and that's what creates the connection. And the success is a byproduct of the connection. It's a byproduct of who you are. This is really what success in an online world is all about. You think about those people who you follow, who you want to spend the time, might be even with me right now. You may look forward to my next video coming on to be able to hear what I've got to say. Well, those people in society who are globally known, Tony Robbins, Oprah Winfrey, Les Brown, these people that come straight to your mind, Richard Branson, Will Smith, all these people that are so in front of us. Like, we like them and we follow them because they share their authentic self. They share their inner message. They share their eternal truth. And this is why we resonate. This is why we're prepared to give up our time and follow them. This is why when they bring out another movie, we go to the movies to watch them. Why we pay to have it on our screen at home, whatever it is. So you share your value because you're no less of a person than they are. You have no less of a message than they do. You have no less of value than they do. They just choose to work tirelessly to get out there and share it with the world. If you actually follow Will Smith in particular, he talks about he just never gives up. He keeps going and going and going. He has a no-die attitude. What does he have? He has a massive amount of commitment. I love listening to Will Smith, his interviews, everything that's going on. He's just such an incredible human being who realized, and in one of his interviews, he said that his father made him and his brother knock down a big wall, and then lay it. And they didn't know how to lay a brick. I think they were only 12 years of age, didn't know what to do. And he said, just lay the bricks. And what Will said was, you don't just go out to build a whole wall. What you do is you go out to actually lay a brick as perfect as a brick can be laid. And eventually, you'll have a wall. Just think about that. Just think about how that's just tied in everything that I've previously said. Eventually, you'll have a wall. So if you just focus on where are you at? What is it that you want to achieve? What is your desire? Are you open to learning the new skills, figuring out how to lay that brick perfect? Leveraging of understanding what a wall looks like, what a business looks like, how to get out there and share your message. Focusing on the time it's going to take and saying, I'm prepared to just lay this brick as perfect as I can. And I don't care how long it takes, it's going to eventually build the wall. 5 years from now, to this point, 5 years could change your whole life. I can't remember how long it took them to build the wall, but eventually they had a wall. And you think that if they took their time and they focused on laying a brick as perfect as a brick could be laid, that they built a very, very strong wall? Absolutely. And at the end of them building it, their father did say to them, now don't you ever tell me that you can't do something. Now that kind of support at that young age is what's molded Will in particular. Now, it's irrelevant of the age that Will was and being young, because it's right now, right here. You're listening to this right now for a reason. And if you don't choose to act on that reason, then you're basically prepared to give your life, your greatness, your existence away. Why would you choose to do that? I don't believe you're here right now to do that. And give me a hell no below if you're not prepared to give your life away, to give your greatness away, to give your existence away. Give me a hell no below. Because we've got to be flexible along our journey. Those who are rigid never achieve anything. And I don't mean from a point of rigidity in commitment and things like that. What I'm talking about is those people who aren't open. Those people who aren't open to change. We've got to be flexible. But the plan that's created, some people love to plan, and they're saying that if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So some of the things that I've done and achieved my goals, the greatness of my goals, the desires that I've wanted, I didn't plan. I just took relentless bloody action. Relentless action. So what's important though is as we start to create that plan and we start to look at those people and what they're doing, what's working, what's shifting in industries. Remember, as industry shifts, what do you need to do? You need to shift. If you don't shift, you're going to get left behind. You have to evolve. If we didn't evolve, we all wouldn't have these smartphones. We'd have these bloody big bricks on the side, and we wouldn't be able to get signal, and they wouldn't work. We wouldn't be able to be on social media. We had to evolve with the industry. We had to evolve with society. So the plan has to be flexible. This is where we talk around change the set of your sail. This is a Jim Rohn quote. Change the set of your sail. How is the set of your sail? On a sailboat, if your sail is not having in the direction of the wind's blowing to help you get to where you need to get to, what's going to happen? You're going to miss your momentum. That's why you watch them. If you ever watch a sailboat race, watch them always constantly aware and shifting the sails wherever they need to go to get the traction, to put the ship in the direction of the destination. So important that we're aware of the flexibility component here. Because that, when you look at the drawing, some of you will have seen this, the road to success, where it starts here and it finishes here. What is it like? It's like this. It is not one straight line. We all want a straight line. We all want the magic pill to take that's going to either make us big and muscly or get us thin and give us the six-pack abs or give us this financial abundance. We want that money tree. We go and plant in the garden and we pour some healthy water on it and we watch all these millions of dollars worth of notes fall. It's not the reality. The Chinese bamboo tree, if you know about that, you'll understand what commitment is, the flexibility, the road to success. Chinese bamboo tree, from the moment it's planted, needs to be watered, needs to be fertilized every single day. But you don't even see anything grow out of the ground for 5 years. It's just still this bit of soil that you're nurturing. Now, anyone walking along, and you'll know this, especially if you've dealt with anyone and family members and friends, walking along going, why do you keep pouring water on that particular spot of soil and there's nothing there? You've been doing it for 4 years now. Give it up. And some people listen to them and go, yeah, what's the point? It's not happening. But within 5 years, that bamboo tree goes bang and just grows a ridiculous amount of feet in a very short period of time. Why? Because it's been actually setting itself underneath and building the foundations to grow. Hence why it's so important to be open to change, to leverage off other people, to give yourself the time to learn those new skills, to find yourself and be flexible along your journey. Right? This is why it's so important. And what I always talk about, the one biggest thing I always talk about when I didn't make those plans, what did I just mention before? Action. Relentless action. Will Smith speaks about it. Action. You don't know, you just keep doing it. You'll eventually learn it. Richard Branson says, if somebody offers you a good opportunity and you don't know how to do it or what to do in it, just say yes and learn as you go. Exactly the way that I've done so many businesses. When I set free to go self-employed at 21 years of age, I had no idea. I was scared. But I knew if other people could do it, I could do it. I knew that I'd learn. I had got to that point where I was a good enough carpenter and builder to figure out that I could continue to grow and evolve and make a difference. And I did. Now, I was prepared to just keep going and doing what I had to do, but show up every day. Go and learn how to put the new staircases in. Go and learn how to put roofs on. All the many things that I'd never done before. But if somebody else can do it, you can do it. Get that attitude. Get that mental attitude. If somebody else can do it, you can do it if you want to do it. If you want to achieve, if the desire is big enough. You must grind. There's got to be, every single day, you've got to show up. You've got to show up, and it's in some way, shape or form, whether it be doing a post, a video, whether it be talking about your product, whether it be learning about new products, whether it be learning about new industry, whether it be listening to some personal development audio, whatever it may be, you must be doing something that's going to help you move in the direction that you need to go to help you achieve the success that you truly do deserve, That is super, super important to be focused on. So that daily focus is critical. Daily focus. What are you working on? What do you need to work on that's going to take you to the direction, to your destination to achieve your goals and dreams? You must have daily focus. Go and watch The Rock when he's training. Go and watch Dwayne. he's constantly saying, focus, focus, because he's in the zone. He is focusing. When I go to the gym, I had several years off because of going through all the depression and so on. And I know that actually exercise is good to help with depression, as in reduce it. But at the same time, I had already had at that point, I'd been training since I was 14, and then all the sport and so on before. But at 14, I started going to the gym. So I had round about 23 years of training, and I was just sick of being and doing it. I was over it. So 20 plus years of it. So I stopped. And I've gone back now, and for the first time, it's not just about curling the dumbbell or pushing the bar away. What it's about is the connection that I have to the area that I'm working on, the focus, the desire that I have for the sculpting that's taking place. So that connection is so important, and the commitment along by keeping going and showing up. Don't have to go every day, but keeping going and making that commitment to get a desired outcome. Without a time attachment, I don't expect myself to have abs in 2 months' time. It'd be nice, but I have no attachment to that. It will take as long as it takes, and obviously every single decision that I make and every choice that I act on has a consequence. So if I choose to go and eat the chocolate bar, or I choose to go and have the pizza or the cake or the hamburger or whatever it is, it's not possibly going to be taking me in the direction that I want to go. It may just be stalling it for a moment, and that's perfectly fine. And this is an important message right now, because you may have been in an online business, you may be in an online business, you may be wanting to achieve success, you may have achieved success and dropping back. It's important to be aware that we have these hurdles along the journey. We have these hiccups, we have these moments where it stalls. It happens in our life in general, never mind our business life. It happens in relationships where things aren't evolving and growing like they once were. And that's perfectly fine, because we have to ride the waves. You only have to go to the ocean and have a look. There's times when you go down there and it's so choppy, you think, crikey, I don't want to be out on a boat in that. I don't want to go and have a swim in the ocean. There's other days where you go where there's a little bit of swell, and there's other days you go where it's super calm. So it's never always the same. It's always evolving. It's always shifting. But as long as we're showing up and we're taking action on a daily basis to some level, that's going to achieve success. Might not be the exact goal or desire that you've got in that moment, but it will take you, and it will continue to help you and take you in the direction that you wish to go. So that's my message today, all around success in an online world. I hope that you've enjoyed it. Give me a enjoyed comment below. What has been your biggest take, your number one take from this? And I will check in and see what your comments have been. Always do my best to respond as well and go through. So as always, thank you for your time. Peace, love, and happiness. And bye for now.